afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, would you please direct your attention to the field as we will now recognize our 2022 CMU men's soccer senior class. Our first senior is Sebastian Bocaz Canales. Sebastian is being escorted today by his teammate Danny Alejos and Alvaro Parojo. Sebastian is a math major with a minor in physics. His favorite memory so far at CMU was Central's 2-1 road victory over Missouri Valley College back on September 21st in Marshall. After graduation, Sebastian plans on attending grad school to pursue his master's degree in engineering. Thank you, Sebastian. Our next senior is Alessandro Lacerti. Alessandro is a marketing and advertising major and is being escorted today by Stefano Cambisi and Maria Sorreo. His favorite memory was CMU's 2-0 win against Missouri Valley in last year's conference tournament championship. Upon graduating this December, Alessandro plans on returning home to Italy to start a career as a luxury real estate salesman. Thank you, Alessandro. Our next senior is Alessandro Salvadego. Alessandro is an exercise science major escorted today by Jessica Bailey. His favorite memory of his career so far was scoring 2 goals against Missouri Valley College last season to clinch the Hart regular season championship for the 4th straight season. After graduation, Alessandro plans on pursuing a master's degree while continuing to play collegiate soccer in the United States. Thank you, Alessandro. Our fourth senior is Yessa Bonk. Yessa is a graduate student pursuing his master's degree in education. He is escorted today by Lydia DeVera, Matthias Stork, Kern Schimmel, Beer DeVoe, and Morris Van Tunen. Yessa's favorite memory was their 4-0 home victory over Missouri Valley College last season. After graduation, Yessa plans to set up his own marketing company back home. Thank you, Yessa. Our next senior is Ricardo Sanduli. Ricardo is a communications major and is escorted today by teammate Alessandro Salvadego. Ricardo's favorite memory during his time at CMU was beating Missouri Valley in back-to-back years in the conference tournament championship. After graduation, Ricardo plans to remain in the U.S. to pursue his master's degree. Thank you, Ricardo. Our sixth senior is Jayton Johnson. Jayton is a business major and is escorted today by his parents, Crystal and Galen Johnson. His favorite memory was winning the national championship his freshman year in 2019. Thank you, Jayton. final senior of the day is Mark Chongrati. Mark is a computer science major and is escorted today by Lakia Wilson and Kathy Baxter. Mark's favorite memory was winning the national championship his freshman season in 2019 in Irvine, California. Upon graduation, Mark plans to continue working as a programmer and exploring life outside of the soccer field. Thank you, Mark. Ladies and gentlemen, please give another round of applause for our 2022 CMU men's soccer senior class. Congratulations, gentlemen. we ask that all players, coaches, and spectators abide by the NAIA Champions of Character values, which are respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. At this time, would you please rise and remove your hats for a prayer to be followed by the playing of our national anthem. Almighty God, you have created us to strive for our best. Grant to all athletes, coaches, and fans the strength to pursue excellence during this event. We pray for the safety of these athletes, protect them from injury and harm. Help us to honor you today in all we do, on and off the field, and make us witnesses to your glory. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome into Davis Field. We've got Heart of America Athletic Conference regular season action for you here at Davis Field as the number 2 nationally ranked Central Methodist Eagles are going to take on the William Penn Statesmen. It is the home finale here for Central. They are looking and are in pursuit of their 5th consecutive regular season championship here today, and I think a win would most likely clinch that. I got to double check with our Assistant Commissioner Tyler Price, who heads up all the fun tiebreakers, but I think we're in a pretty good spot to clinch that today. And it's also senior day for the CMU men as we honored 7 of our men's players that are going to go on and pursue opportunities upon graduating from CMU. I'll get you guys starting lineups here in just a second. And Jayton Johnson is going to do his flip. That's headed away. Bocaz Canales giving chase. All right, guys, we did our senior day festivities. Johnson with the flip, or with a throw-in, I should say. And that's just going to go across the other way, but I think that was deflected, so I think Central's going to do either a corner. Again, I'm in kind of a weird spot where it's hard to see, but I think it is going to be a corner, and it is. Sebastian Bocaz Canales is going to take that. So get some starters for you guys here in just a minute. And Lacherte with the kick, and that's going to be a deflected. That's a goal for number 3, Yessa Bonk. Central 1-0 lead just 4 minutes into this game. So Yessa Bonk getting things on the scoreboard early. Just 4 minutes into this match. Central had a couple cracks at it early on, and Bonk right there for a putback. I think Lacherte, Alessandro Lacherte, one of our seniors that would be graduating, had that initial header, and it was deflected, but Bonk in the right spot for the putback, and Central's up 1-0 just 4 minutes into this match. So good start for our men here on senior day. All right. So we'll start for starters on the side of the Statesmen. Number 5, Eden Sears. Number 8, Lucas Koch. Number 11, Shannon O'Landon. It's a great name. 15, Thomas Jensen. 19, Luigi Mongan. Number 20, Kamoy Williams. 21, Timo Fankhauser. Number 22, Joseph Kitenji. 28, Joaquin Gill. Number 29, Alessandro Bidet. And then in goal is going to be number 1, Harry Nash. So those are your lineups for William Penn. And I think that's Isaac Johnson busting it down on the far sideline. He's going to send a shot. 2 wide. And I think that'll be a goal kick.
So running down the lineup for Central, I just said his name. Number 2, Isaac Johnson. 3, Yesabonk. He had that goal just 4 minutes in. 5, Tom Irian. 6, Basil Erne. 7, Stefano Campisi. 9, Guilherme Pereira. Number 11, Alessandro Salvadego. 14, Sebastian Bocaz Canales. 17, Jayden Johnson. And then number 23, Alessandro Lacerte. And in goal is going to be number 1, Beer DeVoe. So those are your starters for both CMU and Penn. Eagles enter this matchup 12-0-4 overall, 9-0-2 in conference play. William Penn 9-5-2, and then 6-4-1 in conference action. So should be a good matchup today. Bonk with the header. Katenji. He's a senior out of South Africa, a senior forward. So looking at Central, how they got here, they've been on the road for the past few weeks. Their last home game came 2 weeks ago today. They had a 3-0 shutout win over Mount Mercy, and that's the last time we saw these guys at home. They traveled to Atchison, Kansas to take on Benedictine. That was a 4-0 win on October 18th. And they shut out Culver Stockton on October 22nd, 8-0, and then they knocked off Baker, who I believe was receiving votes, in Baldwin City by a final score of 5-1. That was in Baldwin City this past Wednesday. And then obviously they're going to have the home finale here against the Statesmen. And then we'll have quarterfinal action for you guys on November 5th. So that's coming up this next weekend. Obviously, if you went out, you're the top seed for CMU. That looks like that's the way they're going to be going here. They'll host all the way throughout that conference tournament. And Shannon O'Landon answers right back for the Statesmen. A defensive breakdown by Central, and this match is even at 1-1. Just 8 minutes in. Just a nice little flick to that far post, and he got it past Beer DeVoe, and we're tied up at 1-1. O'Landon, a sophomore midfielder out of Oslo, Norway. And Statesman looking to attack again. Katenji right there as well, but DeVoe beats him to the ball that time. And see if we reset. Johnson on the throw-in. See if he does his signature flip. And that's going to be cleared by William Penn. Isaac Johnson's going to reset it. He's going to send one in. Looks like he's looking for either Bonk or his counterpart, Jayton Johnson. Johnson tries to head one in, looking for anyone in the area, but that goes through the back of the end zone right behind the bleachers, and we're going to have a William Penn goal kick. Salvadego, the shot, but that's deflected. Alessandro Salvadego, one of our seniors that we honored. Today we had 7 of them. So to all those parents out there watching your guys today in their final regular season home game here at CMU, we appreciate you guys tuning in. And Statesman pressuring again. Tom Arian's going to send it over to DeVoe. DeVoe. Looks like Mongan up top. Also, another note, with a win today, Coach Alex Nichols would pick up career win number 150 here at Central. He's had several winning seasons with 20 or more in each of those seasons. 4 straight national semifinal appearances and obviously 2. And Salvadego's going to rip a shot. It's deflected. Campese right there. Picks it up. Campese sends one into the box. Johnson and Pineda right there. We'll see what the official calls. And I think he's going to say that's going to be a corner, so another set piece for Central. So Coach Nichols, 4 straight national semifinal appearances, back-to-back national championships in 2018-19, and Eagles are currently in pursuit of their 5th straight regular season conference championship. And I think they can all but solidify that today with a win. .32-25 remaining here in half number 1. Isaac Johnson. Jayton Johnson, he's going to take a running start on the track, so I bet money he's going to do his flip, but you never know. We'll have to see. And he does. Sends a high one into the box. It's going to be somewhat cleared by Penn. And if you guys are tuning in, we'll have the women's game for you at approximately 3:30 p.m. The senior day ceremony for the women will take place around 3:15. And Johnson's going to have another flip. And a collision down in the box, and the goalkeeper, Harry Nash, is down. Let's see if he gets back up, and he does, so that's a good sign. Nash, a senior goalkeeper out of England. He looks like that he's their captain with that captain's armband. And we'll get a foul. It's going to be on number 19, Luigi Mongan, sophomore midfielder out of Manchester, England. And Tom Irian, junior defender out of Germany. He's going to take this free kick. Looking for Campese, but Williams right there. Williams tries to send on field. That's deflected by Campese. Contingy right there giving chase, and that'll stay with Penn. Quick throw in for the Statesman. Landon. So looking ahead, obviously we'll have... Well, let me get over to the right schedule here so I can give you guys the rundown. It looks like, I think that's Lucas Koch over on the far side. He's going to take this throw in. Just over 29 minutes. The ball sent in. And off the post. And that was a close one for Central's. William Penn had a good opportunity at that set piece. I'll see if I can get a number. It looks like that's number 5, Eden Sears. Eden, a sophomore defender out of Telford, England. Just off that far post, and Central got lucky there. Campese. A little bit of the jersey tug. Official says play on. Isaac Johnson heads it. Williams up to Contingy. Looks like Jensen was right there. Beardeveau, just a slow roller right next to Bonk. Bonk across to Irian. Erne to Lacerti. And up to Johnson. Campese. Looking for Salvadego. He sends it up. He had Johnson and Pereira lurking in the box, but good job by Penn to clear that. It's going to stay with the Eagles, though. Lacerti with quick throw into Jayton Johnson. A little pushing and shoving. We'll see what the official calls, and he's going to say that's going to be a throw-in for Central. So looking ahead, we'll have the Hart Conference Tournament. Those dates are going to be Saturday, November 5th. We'll kick it off with the quarters. Semifinals will be Wednesday, November 9th, and then the Hart Tournament Championship will be that next Saturday, which is November 12th. Johnson with the throw-in. Irian right there. I think that was Campese. Another one of those deflected balls that found the foot of Campese, but the goalkeeper, Nash, right there, right spot in the right time, and we could easily be Central could easily be up 2-1 here. So a couple good opportunities, but some lucky shots and some good goalkeeping are keeping this one even at 1-1. 26:45 here left in half number 1. One's into the box. Jayton Johnson with the header. Basil Erne right there. Isaac Johnson, they're asking for a handball, and I think they're going to get one. And they do. So that's going to be a free kick from about the 15-yard marker. We'll see who takes this free kick. Couldn't tell you. They're both... One's tying their shoes, and then the other one's placing the ball. Looks like we're going to have our first sub of the game. That's going to be number 9, Hugo Lorenzo. We'll see who he comes in for in that next dead ball. And Sebastian Bocaz Canales, one of our seniors honored today. Looks like either he or Guillermo Pereira are going to take it. Isaac Johnson also back there. It's going to be Pereira. He sends one in, and that just grazes the top of the crossbar. So like I said, following this game, we'll have the women's match at approximately 3:30 p.m., followed by, preceding that will be the senior day ceremony at around 3:15 p.m. Central Football also making the short trip over to Marshall to take on Missouri Valley. Looks like Valley's got a 6-0 lead in that match, in that game, with 4:58 remaining in the first half. And then our home opener for women's hoops is going to be Monday, October 31st. So coming up this Monday, if you guys are out, come dress up in your favorite Halloween costume. We'll do a costume contest at halftime of that game. And then in addition, that's a 7 o'clock tip, and before that we'll have women's soccer at 1 o'clock versus Mount Mercy. That was a rescheduled game. Lacherte and Eden Sears not agreeing with each other. And it looks like that's going to go the way of CMU. And I think they're going to have either a free kick or a long throw-in. Yep, they'll have another long throw-in. Johnson with the flip, sends a high one into the box. Irian right there. It's deflected and cleared by Penn. All the way back to the other side of the field. Isaac Johnson's going to send that to Beer DeVoe, and they'll reset DeVoe. Sends a high one up for Bonk. Bonk's usually going to win those matchups, being 6'7". Campese. Ball's dribbling around the box, and Jayton Johnson right there as well. So the CMU women, they were originally supposed to play that doubleheader against the Mustangs on October 15th, but some roster issues with Mount Mercy, and they ended up rescheduling that game for Halloween. So a little bit of a double dip on Halloween. We'll have women's soccer for you at 1 o'clock, and then the women's basketball game against Haskell at 7 o'clock. Johnson once again with his signature flip. Campese there with a header too high, though. That'll be a goal kick for the Statesmen. So. Nash resets. Johnson for Salvadego. Salvadego dribbles down the far sideline, near sideline. Passes it up to Pineda. Pineda trying to keep possession, he does. He's going to give that over to Lacherte. Lacherte sends one in. He had Johnson and Salvadego lurking in the area. It's a high-intensity game. 21-31 remaining here in half number 1. Campese. Lacherte on the corner. Nash pokes it out. Not sure if Lacherte's got something in his eye over there. That's Bocaz Canales over here on the near side. Johnson flips. Canales sends one deflected. It's a dangerous ball, Lacherte. Penn trying to get some action. Bonk. And they're going to call, I think that's going to be Fankhauser on that foul. Too much jersey grabbing. So that's going to be a CMU free kick. And Vitor Antello is going to make his debut in this match. Vitor is a sophomore defender out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Let's see who he comes in for. Beer DeVoe on the free kick from about the 50. Basil Erne. Bonk. Looking for Pereira. Lacerti. Campisi just strikes one. Irian was right there for the attempted putback, but that'll go wide. And we'll have a goal kick. So Vitor Antello is going to replace Alessandro Lacerti. Lacerti getting that senior day start. Nash sends one up. $18 minutes left here in half number one. And it looks like we'll have a foul, and we do. Not sure if that was on Pereira, but nonetheless, that's going to be a free kick for the Statesman. We've got Lucas Koch right there. Not sure who his counterbar is standing next to him. It's hard to see these numbers when they're not facing you. Looks like that's going to be number 28, Joaquim Gil. Joaquim is senior midfielder out of Valencia, Spain. And Lucas Koch, number 8, senior midfielder out of Moors, Germany. And that free kick is sent. Bonk clears it. And we'll see if we have our next substitution, and we do. That's going to be for Central, number 19, Jeremiah Johnson. See who he comes in and replaces. Looks like it's going to be Sebastian Bocaz Canales. So Sebastian also getting the senior day start. And Jeremiah Johnson is a sophomore forward out of Columbia, Missouri. He's going to make his debut. Salvadego looking for Johnson. Jayden Johnson gets a flip up to Jeremiah Johnson. Nash is going to say, I'm going to just come out and grab that, and we'll just prevent any further nonsense from happening, and he does. So that'll be a reset for Penn. Bonk. And Bonk, 6'7", great for set pieces, great on the defensive side. It's hard to get anything past him, so 99% of the time he's going to win those jump balls in any of those headers. So you like having him on our team. He's also a senior, though, so he's going to graduate and go back home and pursue some other opportunities. So glad we were able to celebrate him today. Penn's going to get this throw in. They send it in. Bonk right there. Jeremiah Johnson. Might just try to clear that and just get into the reset for Central. And we do. 15:33 remaining here in half number one. Statesman throw in. And they were asking for, I think, a handball. Penn's bench was, and they said, nope. Official's going to say play on. And I think we might have one more substitution for Central. Looks like this is going to be Liam Arthur, who's over here talking to assistant coach Jasper Krasinski. And William Penn's bench imploring for a foul or a handball. Official says play on. Aaronay to Johnson. To Jeremiah Johnson. And we'll get a stoppage in play, and I think they're going to call that, and they are. They're going to call that on number 11, Shannon O'Landon. And we're already getting chippy here. 30 minutes into this match. Expectations, though, conference seeding on the line. Always high intensity in the last regular season game of the year. Pierre DeVoe sends a long ball in. Tom Irian's right there. Tom with the header. Say Lorenzo and Vitor battling. Ernay. Bonk sends one up over his head to try and clear it. Earring with the header. Fankhauser. And O'Landon. I think that's going to be Fankhauser that throws that in on the far side. So we'll have one more sub for Penn. That's going to be number 25, Maxime Eschman, the freshman forward out of Switzerland. And then Liam Arthur, number 18, for Central. He's a freshman forward out of South Shields, England. 6'2", 194 pounds. And we'll see. I think that foul's going to be on number 7, Stefano Campisi. And then one more sub for Central. It's going to be number 26, Kean Halpin. Kean, a freshman forward out of Bedford, England. Penn, free kick. Bonk. Clears it. Katinji right there in the area. So we'll see. We got 3 subs. One for Penn. It's number 25, Maxim Eschman. Looks like he's going to replace number 19, Luigi Mongan. And then Alessandro Salvadego and Jayton Johnson are both going to come off. As Liam Arthur and Kean Halpin come in to replace. Penn with a long throw, and I think on the far side. Yep, that's what it'll be. So long throw in, sends one into the box. And that might have been an own goal. I'm not sure if that got deflected. They're celebrating. We'll have to see who had that, but 10:47 remaining here in half number 1. And Penn takes a 2-1 lead. I'm going to have to get goal confirmation because there were a few of those guys in the box. Looks like number 5, Eden Sears, sophomore defender out of England, and I'm going to bet money that's who it was. We'll have one more sub for Penn. That's going to be number 16, Connor Keelock. So got confirmation from our scorekeeper. We're both a little unsure, but we're thinking it's number 5, Eden Sears on that goal. We'll have to go back and double check film, but 2-1 lead here for the Statesmen at the 10:47 mark of the first half. And instantly right back again. Kean Halpin evens this match 45 seconds later. And that didn't take long. Quick response from Central. And we are even once again at 2-2. So quick counterattack. So at the 9:52 mark of the first half, less than 50 seconds after Penn took a quick lead. It didn't last too long, and we're even once again. And just got a notification at the end of quarter number 1, Central Football's got a 7-6 lead over Missouri Valley. Of course, Missouri Valley celebrating their homecoming over in Marshall, so, Central would like to play spoiler to that. And Penn once again threatening again, so quick strikes from both teams. They're not afraid to put points on the board and attack, and that's what they're both doing. But like I said, the last regular season game of the year, a lot on the line. That's going to be a throw-in for Penn. That ball's still active in the box. Beer DeVoe right there to scoop it up, though. Campese and Eden Sears, who had that last goal, attempted to grab that, but he ends up slipping. So Campese's going to rein in possession. He was looking for Liam Arthur. Campese and Contingency battling for it. Lorenzo right there. And Contingency, Antello, looks like they're going to call a foul on Contingency there. $7:40 remaining here in half number 1. It's been a busy first half for Central Penn as it's 2-2. Jeremiah Johnson and Eden Sears battling for it. And it looks like Sears is down on the ground. Of course, all of CMU is saying that's a good acting job. And of course, William Penn is saying, no, that's a hard foul. But that's just kind of the way soccer is. I'll let you guys debate that. He's up and at him, though. So, Harry Nash, senior goalkeeper out of England, is going to take this one. He's their captain. Was looking for Thomas Jensen, but Bonk right there to head it over. That'd be an over back in basketball, but wrong sport, so they'll play on. Lorenzo. Good defense by Bonk, and Isaac Johnson's going to end up with it. Jeremiah Johnson right there, it's deflected. And I think Central's going to look to move quickly, and they do. Kean Halpin right there. Kean Halpin dribbling up the far sideline. He's got Liam Arthur in pursuit. Good defense, though, by Penn, and I think that's going to be a corner. Looks like it is. Campese is going to be on this one. Stefano, a sophomore forward out of Milano, Italy, 5'8", 141 pounds. Campese raises his hand, says they're good. Johnson right there. And good deflection by Penn, but they'll do it again, though. So another set piece for Central. Just under 6 minutes remaining here in half number 1. Campese sends one in. And Basil Erne was right there, but he was battling for it with one of Penn's defenders. Isaac Johnson sends one in again. Look for Tom Irian. Bonk. Excuse me, Erne. Bonk has about 6 or 7 inches on Erne, so that should tell you who is who in those situations. Beer DeVoe. Erne. Aaron with Koch in pursuit. Halpin. Koch again. Jensen sends one up. He's looking for Katenji. Tom Aaron, a 2020 NAI All-American. He had some injuries that he was battling last year, so we didn't get to see as much of him as we would have liked. But he's back. Looks real sharp here in his junior campaign. Campese over to Erne. Erne sends a high one up looking for Jeremiah Johnson. Johnson. Halpin. And they're asking for a foul for Central, and they get it. I think that's going to be number 28, Joaquin Gill, on that. And we're going to have a stoppage in play. And we're going to have a sub. It's going to be number 25, Alvaro Perojo. He's going to come in and replace number 9, Guillermo Pereira. Perojo, a freshman midfielder out of Suecia, Spain, 6'3", 185 pounds. And Central's going to get a long free kick. And we had one sub for Penn. I didn't see who came in, but replacing them. But they are replacing number 22, Joseph Kindenji. Kindenji very active in that first half, so I expect to see him back here in half number 2. Campese. And Antillo's going to try and chase that one down. And he does. That'll be a quick throw, and the official's going to say, hold on, let's get our subs in first. That was a dead ball. So both teams trying to establish a rhythm, but I think so far what I've seen this first half, the rhythm is fast. Fast-paced, as usual. That's going to be number 23, Joan Torres. See who he replaced. He replaces number 9, Hugo Lorenzo. Torres, a freshman defender out of Quinio Adora. Coach Nichols is none too happy over here on this side, and I think that's because this throw-in's much further down the line. It might be a corner, though. Let's see. It is. Just some shaky defense here. 2:40 remaining here in half number 1. Central with a, 2-2 against the Statesmen at this moment. Free kick goes in. Excuse me, that's a corner. Deflected off by a CMU defense, and we're going to do this again. Penn, a good opportunity to take the lead here on the number 2 team in the country. Koch on the corner, I think. And we'll have a stoppage in play while the official sorts out all the stuff going on in the box. Can't tell exactly what he's saying, but I can indicate that he just said, no more of whatever you guys are doing, and let's play on. The ball goes in. Bonk heads that away. Fankhauser tried to shot off the volley, but no doing there. Irian. Campese. Eschman tries to keep that one in, but he doesn't. We'll see who they give it to. They're going to give that. That's going to be a goal kick for Central. All right, so that's going to do it here for half number one. A lot of action going on here in this first half. Central in a 2-2 draw against the Statesmen out of Oskaloosa, Iowa. It's going to be William Penn. Let me pull up some quick stats for you if I can get it together. We'll see if I can. We'll have 15 minutes on the clock for halftime. So, first half action, Central 8 shots, 3 shots on goal, compared to 4 shots, 3 shots on goal. Central with 4 corners compared to just 2 for the Statesmen, but we are even in fouls, 5 apiece on both sides, no cards yet, and 2 goals apiece for each side. So Stefano Campese leading the way with 2 shots for Central, and then Eden Sears 2 shots, including that goal in the first half. So we are even here on the campus, at Davis Field. 2-2, number 2 Central versus William Penn. This is the regular season finale. We'll have more second half action for you here in about 13 minutes and 31 seconds. This is Rachel Moore, Assistant AD and Director of Athletic Communications. You are listening to Hart Men's Soccer here on the Hart Conference Network. here at Davis Field on the beautiful campus of Central Methodist University. This is Rachel Moore, Assistant AD, Director of Athletic Communications here at Central, filling in for the one and only Phil Fortaleza. Phil, if you're watching, hey, how you doing? We'll see you during the postseason. So Campese up to Bocas Canales. Canales with a little bit of space, looking for Campese. He flicks it on to Arthur. Liam Arthur sends one into the box. And Kean Halpin right there giving chase, but Nash just a hair quicker. And that could have been an easy tap-in for Central. Just 90 seconds into this second half. Pereira. Back to Bocas Canales. Back to DeVoe. Campese. Good job by Fankhauser to get that out of harm's way. Looks like Katinji wanted to over the back on Irian, but they said no and play on. Antello sends a long ball up. Looked like he was looking for Halpin. Sears kind of fends that one off. Halpin. Erne. Erne, 2021 All-American. In his first year, he's now in year number 2. I think that was Perojo looking for Halpin. Sebastian Bocas Canales is going to take this corner, and Center's going to have a good scoring opportunity on a set piece. Canales sends one in. Campese was right there, but easily headed away by the Statesman. And it's going to stay with Central, though, and we'll have a CMU throw in. Pereira sends a dribbler in, deflected. Bocas Canales, right at Nash though, no reset. And center judge is going to call a foul on Penn. Halpin. Pereira. Up to, I think that's on Antello. And ball right there. Halpin and Arthur go both right there in the box. Nash was lucky there that that ball deflected and didn't square by for a third goal of the match for Central. We remain tied at 2-2. Pierre DeVoe up to Bocas Canales. Canales up to Campese. Erne. Looks like the center judge called. I think that was on Campese. No, it was not. Might have been on number 28, Joaquin Gill. They were both kind of battling for it. So DeVoe is going to take this free kick from about 43. He sends one in. Bonk. Halpin takes a whiff. Irian right there almost had the putback, but Nash had some good defense right there on the line, and he's lucky that didn't skirt in for a goal for CMU. Coach Nichols and Coach Sherman applaud. They like that effort, and I think we'll have a central corner, and we will. Campese sends one in. Halpin. Arthur. Nothing. Again, good chances there for Central. Just got to see if they can put them away. Say Perojo. Sorry, I'm seeing if I can look up our seating procedures here for the postseason. So looking at criteria, as Halpin is going to battle it out on the far side. That's going to go to Penn for a throw-in. So there's 7 criteria for determining your seeds in the conference tournament. So the first one is obviously the point system. So a win is 3 points, tie 2, loss you don't get anything. And then head-to-head results based on the point system. And then the third option is team with most wins in conference play. Contingency giving chase. Beer DeVoe, good job to clear that. Gets that by Coach Nichols on the right shoulder. Penn's going to get a throw-in. Goal differential in conference play, it's calculated to a maximum of 3 goals per game. So even if you blast someone 10-0, only 3 of those goals will count. Overall win-loss tie record against non-con opponents, and then the most recently published NAI MRPI rankings. So those are your 7 criteria for determining your seeds in the conference tournament. A tie would make things a little more interesting, and we'd have to do some figuring out. So if CMU and Penn ended a tie here, might make things a little more interesting, because if you remember, Central beat Missouri Valley, but almost had MNU back on September 14th, but that ended in a 2-2 tie. So Campese, Halpin. Halpin goes down hard, and that's going to be Kamoy Williams. Not sure if they gave him a card. I didn't hear, or if they called a foul. I didn't hear the whistle. I didn't. So we'll just do a regular corner. I think that's Campese over there on the near the flag. Again, I'm kind of in a odd spot, so it's hard to see. But Campese is going to take it. Cleared out by Nash. He's able to punch it away. Just over 35 minutes remaining here in half number 2. Central and MNU are tied at 2-2. 2 first half goals from both sides. Central quick to respond. Perojo. I think that's going to be Antello on the far side, and it is. Antello. Pereira. Asking for a deflection, and hopefully they can get a corner, and I think they're going to award it, and they do. William Penn's bench didn't like that and did not agree with that, but that's going to be another opportunity for a set piece for Central. Campese on the corner. Easy clearance by Penn. Basil Aranay. I mean, Central just looks a lot quicker in this second half than they did the first. Mongan over to Contingy. Turned over though, Aranay to Campese with it now. Campese up to, I think that's Pineda. Over to Arthur. Arthur trying to do some fancy footwork. We'll see if he can get around him. He and Finkhouse are battling for it. Campese sends one in. That's going to be cleared though. And it looks like we're going to have our first substitution of the second half. That's going to be number 24, Matteo Correda. Sophomore defender out of Monza, Italy. Contingy. And a little bit of an opportunity there. And we'll get a stoppage in play. Aranay doesn't like that call. Koch on the free kick. Headed away by Perojo. Bocaz Canales up to Campese. Campese sends a long one up to Halpin. Halpin trying to give chase, but that ball dribbles out of bounds. And Correa is going to make his debut. He's going to replace number 11, Shannon London. Sophomore midfielder of Oslo, Norway. And Correa is sophomore defender out of Italy. Penn on the throw-in. Bidet sends one into the box. Antello trying to clear that out of harm's way, and he does. In the process, he's going to get fouled, and he's down on the far side. About halfway on the track, halfway on the turf, so he doesn't feel too good. But he's up, so that's good to see. Bocaz Canales. Perojo. And we're going to get a stoppage in play. And it looks like we're going to get a card. And we do. That's going to be on number 25. And we're going to get a couple more substitutions this time for Central. Penn's got one as well. It's going to be number 25, Maxime Ishman. Penn. Contingy. Contingy's triple team, though, and you can see why. He can attract quite a crowd. Good offensive threat. You can see why he's starting forward in this game. Antello. I think that's Campese over there. Arthur. Over to Pereira. Pereira tries to split the double team, and he does. He's going to send a shot. Deflected, though, by Caceres. Brilliant footwork, though. Irian sends that one high. Williams and Arthur both battling for it. Bocaz Canales. And at halftime, Central Football holds a 7-6 lead over Missouri Valley. And I think they called a foul on that on Pereira. I'm not sure where the foul was. But again, I'm not the official, so. Of course, the entire Central sideline let out a groan, as well as the fans. The official said, no, it's not how it's going to work today. And they're going to call another foul. Not sure who it was, but it was on CMU. So Penn slowly moving up. So Penn's going to get a long free kick from about the 43. And someone just needs to kick it, and they do. And that goes over everyone's heads, though. And that'll be a harmless goal kick for Beer DeVoe. So we'll have a host of substitutions. We'll see if I can get them all to you. For Central, it's going to be number 19, Jeremiah Johnson, and then number 16, Leonardo Chiuli. And then for Penn, number 25, Maxim Eschman, and number 16, Connor Keylock. Liam Arthur and Alvaro Perojo are replaced for CMU. And then Kimoy Williams and, if he'll turn around, I can see his jersey, number 19, Luigi Mongan are off for Penn. So a host of substitutions, just a little over 25 minutes remaining here in half number 2. We are still tied at 2-2. 4 first half goals combined for the sides, and Penn's looking to see if they can add a third. We'll just have to see. Penn still with possession. Aaron tried to corral that, but deflected. It goes out of bounds, so Penn's going to inch a little bit closer to CMU's goal. And Fankhauser originally was going to take that, but it looks like it's going to be our senior captain, Lucas Koch. Luke is a senior midfielder out of Moors, Germany. Long throw in from Koch. Keeley tries to clear it. Gill right there as well for Penn. And almost a slip up there. A couple central defenders let that ball just kind of lay in some dangerous territory, and Penn pressing a little bit. So early on in this second half, a lot of action down on Penn's side of the field with giving Central several scoring opportunities, but almost a role reversal here in these last 5 or 6 minutes that says we've been playing a lot down on Penn's side of the field, or on our side of the field. So Koch on the throw in. And I think that was Contingy. Ball sails over and looks like it probably was deflected. I think it was, because, yep, Koch is going to scamper on over, and we'll have another throw in for the Statesman. 16:34 remaining here in half number 2. Central and Penn are tied up at 2-2. As Penn is going to take a free kick. Koch sends one in. I think Antello got his head on that to try to clear it. And we're going to have another substitution for Central. That's going to be number 17, Jayton Johnson. He is going to replace number 26, Kean Halpin. All right. Salvadego is going to be cleared by Keelock. Serrata Antello battling for it. Penn with a chance. Good job by Bonk, though, to clear it. He's going to send that up to Johnson. And we'll have a collision. It's going to be Keelock and Jayton Johnson. We've got some students over to my left here that don't agree with that call. Or no call, I guess I should say. And we're getting a little chippy, as you can expect here as we close out regular season action. Always high intensity. And they're going to get Antello on that foul. Antello number 4. And the Boo Birds come out. And we'll have a couple more substitutions, one for each side. For Penn, it's going to be number 11, Sean and Landon. And then for the Eagles, Guillermo Pereira is going to make his re-entry into the second half. Ball sent in, but right at Beer DeVoe, and he's going to try to counter quickly. He's got Salvadego and Jeremiah Johnson lurking up top. But it's going to be a turnover, and Penn is with it now. Antello quick throw and looking for Salvadego, and we've got a jersey tug, and he says stoppage and play, and then I'm going to bet money we have a card. And we'll get a card. We'll see who that's on when he gets up. Hard to tell who it is at the moment. But yeah, that was quite a jersey pull. And we'll see who that's on. See if I can get a number zoned in and locked in for you guys once he turns around. I think that's number 5, Eden Sears. It is. So Sears with a yellow for tugging on the jersey of Salvadego. And Sebastian Bocaz Canales is going to take this one. And we do. He sends one in. And see if we have our 2 substitutions coming in. And we do. It's a stoppage in play. So, Alandon is going to replace number 24, Mateo Carreta, and Guillermo Pereira is going to replace Leonardo Chiuli. Just over 13 minutes remaining here. Half number 2, Central and William Penn are all tied up at 2 goals apiece. Jayton Johnson with his signature flip. I don't know if Nash got a hand on that to punch that ball away, but it's going to stay with CMU, and we'll have another throw in just on this side of the field this time. Number 22, Joseph Katenji, senior forward out of South Africa, is going to make his return to the second half here shortly on the next dead ball, or stoppage in play, I should say. Jayden Johnson's signature flip sends one up. Bonk right there, I think. Actually, I think that was Irian and Bonk kind of going up together there. Over the top of the crossbar, though, and that's be a goal kick for William Penn. And Contingy's going to replace number 9, Hugo Lorenzo, so you have to imagine his day's probably done with just over 12 minutes remaining here. Bonk up to Salvadego. He flicked it onto Johnson, but Salvadego back with it now. Sends one across to Ernay. Ernay up to Jeremiah Johnson. We'll see if he can track it down. He can. He sends one in. Good idea because he had Salvadego lurking right there, but just a little bit too high and far out. And that's going to be a goal kick for Penn. Penn, another substitution. Looks like it's going to be number 19, Luigi Mongan, at the next dead ball. He's going to make his re-entry into this second half. Sophomore midfielder out of Manchester. Bonk. Ernay and Gill battling for it. Now Contingy. And that's a stoppage in play. That's going to be a high boot, I think, on Contingy, and that's going to be a yellow card. Yep. So, I said it earlier. We're getting chippy here. Only 11 minutes remaining, but it's the closing out of the regular season. Conference standings and seedings are on the line. And it's always a high-intensity game that is soccer. So, Contingy's going to get his first yellow of the day. And Beer DeVoe for Central is going to kick this one. Johnson with a flip. And we'll have another stoppage in play. And that was a scary moment for Penn there. Nash punched that ball away, and he's down in a heap on the field, and he doesn't feel too good. Central lurking again, trying to seal up their 5th consecutive regular season conference championship. They won the last 4, dating back to the 2018 season. And obviously, the past 4 years, they've won 2 national championships, made 4 straight semifinal appearances in the national tournament. So they're looking to build on that. And this is a good starting point to close out regular season action as we get into postseason. I think this is Antello on the far side. Center official providing instructions. And that was just a dropped ball. Ernay. Up to Irian. Salvadego right there. And they're going to battle for it. And the official's going to say that went out on Central, so we'll go the other way. We're going to have a substitution. Mongan's going to enter this game. We'll see who he replaces. I think he's replacing number 28, Joaquin Gill, and that is in fact the case. So Gill comes off, Mongan on. And just under 10 minutes remaining, and it's a busy sideline down Johnson. We'll have another Penn substitution, this time number 15, Thomas Jensen. He's a freshman midfielder out of Norway. We'll see who he replaces. And Liam Arthur for Central is going to make his re-entry into this game. And Karetas is going to come off for Penn. Just under 8 minutes to go here in half number 2. We are tied up at 2-2. And I think they called a foul on Pereira, either that or a handball. Excuse me, they called it on Penn. So Central's going to get that free kick. Beer DeVoe, with his big leg, is going to send one into the box, and we'll see what Central can do with it. And the GOAT of women's soccer, well, I won't spoil it yet. We've got a surprise guest here today. I don't want to ruin it in case she hasn't seen the team yet, but we'll talk about her at halftime, depending. But special guest appearance. She was a big part of CMU women's soccer for a number of years. She's back down here talking to Miss Suzanne Hickman, and I think Dave Hickman is down there as well. So it's good to see her. Irian Kintinji, he's got some space, and DeVoe slips. What an opportunity for Penn, and outstanding goalkeeping by Beer DeVoe. Kintinji with a wide open goal, and Beer DeVoe's going the other way. Kintinji tries to slip it past him on his left, but DeVoe sticks his leg out, and he just gets the deflection and keeps this game tied at 2-2. What a piece of goalkeeping here for Beer DeVoe. Coach Nichols had a couple more substitutions, and I think he's going to say, come on back. And that ball sent in. DeVoe clears it, but dangerous territory for Central. His defense is a little bit shaky. Now they've got the counter. Erne up to Johnson. Jeremiah Johnson. Hard foul. They call it. That's going to be a... We'll see if they give him the card. I think they might. We had to stop it in play, and he is. .5:45 left here on the clock. Central Penn 2-2. Couple good opportunities for Penn, but like I said, outstanding goalkeeping by Beer DeVoe to keep Central in this game, keeping this at a 2-2 tie. DeVoe. He's got Bonk in the area. Good job by Nash, though. One of the Penn defenders gives him a tap on the head and says, thank you very much, because you can't teach height, and for Penn, they have that challenge with Jesse Bonk coming in at, I think I've been saying 6'7" all year. Yeah, 6'7". So they appreciate that goalkeeper effort there, because you can teach a lot of things, but height ain't one of them. Jayton Johnson up to Pereira. Campisi. ball sent in. I think that was Perojo. That might have been Antello. I think that's Antello. And we will have a couple more substitutions. We'll see if the official lets him come on. Joaquin Gill is one of them. Liam Arthur is the other. And we've got actually an injured Statesman player down on the field, so we'll take a quick break here while they tend to him. We hope he's okay. All right, we are back. Just under 5 minutes remaining. Jayton Johnson on the throw-in will do his signature flip. Sends one in. Good defense once again by Statesman. They've held their own against the number 2 team in the country today. They've had some opportunities to jump out in front. And I think they call a foul on Liam Arthur, and they do. And Harry Nash. Arthur right there, but so is Nash. Nash and DeVoe, besides a couple hiccups, have played well today for their sides. This game could easily be 4 or 5 more goals than it is, but again, that's why you've got goalkeepers back there, and they're doing their jobs, and they're doing it well. Contingy. Statesman's got a few guys up here, but Bonk with his long stride is just going to let that dribble out. Both coaching sides are up imploring their teams to put something together here. Just 2.5 minutes remaining. Salvadego with some space. He sends it up to Pereira. Pereira looking for Salvadego again. Salvadego. And again, I think that's Antillo over there, but I can't be sure. I think it is. It is. Arne. Campese. Too far for Campese, though. And we're just about at the 2-minute mark here in the second half. Central in pursuit of their 5th consecutive regular season championship. And I think because of goal differential, they'll get it. We'll have a stoppage in play. 1:52 on the clock. So these last few minutes will take a while. And official's going to say go ahead and start it. They send it in. And we're in hurry-up mode now. Not much time left. Just a little over 90 seconds. And the official, well, the crowd, I should say, imploring for a handball and a foul, and they're going to get it. All right, everyone, so that's going to do it for the men's side. We end in a 2-2 draw. Central's going to move to 12-0-5, 9-0-3 in conference action. William Penn is going to be 9-5-3, 6-4-2 in conference action. Because of the tie, Central has secured at least a share of their 5th straight regular season championship. Absolutely incredible. We got to see what happens with Missouri Valley tonight if they win it outright. Obviously, if Missouri Valley wins, we would be co-champs. We would earn the tiebreaker because we beat them, so we would earn that number 1 seed. If we lose, it'll stay the same. We will be champs outright, and we'll still remain their number 1 seed. So all good things for CMU men's soccer despite the 2-2 tie. See if I can pull up some quick stats for you guys as we get rolling. Central finishes the day with 13 shots compared to 8 for Penn, 4 shots on goal for each side, 9 corners for Central, so a lot of set pieces compared to just 2 for Penn, 11 fouls for Central, 10 for Penn. So, fairly even matchup. There were some opportunities for some additional goals on both sides, but great goalkeeping there by Nash and DeVoe to kind of leave everything hung on. So, that's going to do it here, at least for the men's game. Hart regular season champs. They've claimed a share of at least their 5th for the 5th consecutive year. So all good things for those guys. We'll see if the women can match them here in the women's side. And that game is going to come up here at about 3:30 p.m. Senior Day coming up shortly, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Once again, this is Hart Men's Soccer here on the Hart Conference Network. Rachel Moore, Assistant AD and Director of Athletic Communications, bringing you the action. We'll be back in just a few minutes here on the Hart Conference Network. Stick around, guys.